Volume 2, The Book of the Secrets, a new commentary. Discourse number 28, given in Bombay, India.
First question. It has been said that no desire can lead towards freedom, neither worldly desire nor religious. But positive imagination of happiness and bliss is also a sort of desire. Then isn't it true that imagination is also desire and hence creates tensions? Imagination is not desire. Imagination is just a play. Desire is totally a different thing. You can base your imagination on desire. You can project your imagination through desire. Then it will be a bondage. Without any desire, if you simply play with imagination, not to reach anywhere, not to get anything out of it, but just a game, then it is not desire and not binding. These techniques of imagination can be helpful only if you are playing with them. If you get serious, you lose the point. But the question is relevant, because really you cannot conceive anything which you can do without desire. Even if you are playing, you can play only to reach somewhere, to get something, to win. If there is nothing in the future, you will lose interest. You will say, then why? Then why play around? We are so much end-oriented that we turn everything into a means. This must be remembered, that meditation is the ultimate play. It is not a means to something. It is not a means to enlightenment. Enlightenment happens in it, but it is not a means to it. It is not a means to ultimate freedom. Ultimate freedom happens in it, but it is not a means. You cannot use it as a cause to effect something. And this has been one of the most puzzling things. All through the centuries, those who have known, they go on insisting that meditate for meditation's sake. You don't desire anything out of it. Enjoy it in itself. Don't move out of it. And the consequence will be enlightenment. Remember, consequence, not effect. Meditation is not a cause. But if you are deeply in meditation, enlightenment happens. Really, that being deep in the play is enlightenment. But the mind always turns everything into work. It says, do something because this will be the profit out of it. Imaginary are real, but the mind needs something to hang, to project. Only then mind can devote itself. This is how mind functions. It functions in the present for the future. The future may be illusory. It may not happen ever. But if the mind can hope for the future, then it can work. This is what is called desire. Working in the present for the future. The end is always somewhere else. The means are here. End is somewhere else. This division of ends and means, this gap is desire. If you are playing, there is no desire. Because the end is here and the means are also here. While playing, there is no future. You are simply so much merged in it. Future disappears. Look children play. Look at their faces, at their eyes. Now, they are in eternity. They are happy because they are playing. Happiness will not result in the end. It is right now here. Moment to moment they are happy. Not that something great is going to happen later on. It is happening already. They are in eternity. But their minds are still not developed. We will force them. Because this play will not be of much help in the world. They will have to learn work. They will have to divide means and end. They will have to create a gap between this moment and the future. And we will teach them to sacrifice the present for the future. This is the way of the world, the way of the market, the way of the desire. Desire makes everything utilitarian. In meditation, you will become a child again, play, with no idea of the future. Enjoying this very moment, the very act, in itself, intrinsic. Then imagination is not desire. Then you can play with it. And it is one of the most beautiful things possible. And this playing, this being in the moment, totally absorbed, is enlightenment. The moment it happens, you are transformed. So enlightenment is never in the future. It is always in the present. And it is not a work to be done. It is a game to be played. That is the meaning of the Indian concept of Leela. God is playing. He is not engaged in work. This world is not utilitarian, just a play of energy. Energy enjoys itself playing. It divides itself and then plays the game of hide and seek. So really, Indian seers have never said that God is the creator. They say God is the player. Because the very word creation carries much seriousness about it. As if some end is there and something has to be achieved. This is absurd. God creating the world. Because that means something is lacking. So God is creating the world to achieve something. Or there is some future. So God is also lives in desire. Jains and Buddhists couldn't understand the Hindu concept of Leela. So they completely denied God. Because if God creates the world, then he desires. So Jains and Buddhists say that even if God desires, then God is part of the world. He is not himself free. He himself is not liberated. So they completely denied the concept of God. Because they say God means one who is beyond desire. So they say Mahavir is a God. He is beyond desire. Brahma is not a God. Because he creates the world. He desires the world. They couldn't follow the concept of Leela. The concept of Leela is totally different from creation. God is just playing. And you cannot ask why. Because the play has no why to answer. Children are playing. Can you ask why are you playing? They will say we are, so we are playing. Playing is good in itself. The energy moving, abundant energy overflowing. The more you grow, the less you play. Why? Because now your energy is not so overflowing. Now you have become economical. Now you know that you have a certain amount of energy and you have to channelize that energy for work to achieve something. Children are just overflowing. The energy is so much, they have to play. The play is just overflowing energy, too much energy, moving. Then it enjoys. The very moment a child is jumping, running, not to reach some goal. Running itself is such a beautiful experience. The experience of vital energy, the experience of vitality, the experience of being alive, overflowing. So abundant that you can throw the energy without any economic mind behind it. God means absolute energy, infinite energy. God cannot be economical. He has so much, so infinitely much, that he can only play. And this play goes on and on, because there is no end to it. There cannot be, because the energy is infinite. And you cannot ask why. Energy moves. There is no why to it. If God creates the world, you can ask why. Why you created the world? But if he is simply playing, you cannot ask why. When you also become a player, you become divine. If you are a worker, you are human. If you are a player, you have become divine. Then you share the game. That's why we have called Krishna the absolute avatar. We have not called Ram the absolute avatar. We call Ram a partial avatar, a partial coming of the divine to the world. But Krishna we call absolute coming. And the difference is that Ram is serious. He is still utilitarian, end-oriented. This is right and that is wrong. Only in work, right and wrong exist. This should be done and this should not be done. This is good and that is bad. For Krishna, everything has become a play. So everything is arbitrary. Just rules of the game. If you follow, it is good. And you follow knowingly that this is a game and the rules have to be followed. If you don't follow, nothing is wrong. Really, you are playing the reverse game of not following. If you obey, you follow the game of obedience. If you don't obey, you follow the game of disobedience, the game of the rebellious. But nothing is wrong. It is your choice what you want to play. And if you are not serious and happy whatsoever you do, you are enlightened. The rules are there. Because a game has to be played with others. If you are playing alone, then there is no question of rules. Then you can change your rules every moment you like. But because you are playing with others, rules have to be followed so that you can play with others. There is nothing, any other reason behind it. Morality is a rule. Law is a rule. Society is just a rule. Agreed rules that we are going to play a game, so we will agree. If you don't want to play the game, then you can be rebellious. But don't be serious about it. Then play the game of being rebellious. And if someone kills, murders you, crucifies you, you know that you were playing the game of a rebellious leader, so you have been killed. So no condemnation is there. You were not with the established rules, so established rules were against you. So it is okay. Then nothing is wrong. And you don't have to complain. Once you become aware that the concept of work, utility, to reach somewhere, the goal, is the bondage. That doesn't mean that you stop playing the game in the market. You go on playing, but know that this is a game. It doesn't mean that you divorce your wife. You go on playing the game of marriage. But know well that this is a game, don't get serious about it. And if you want to play the game of divorce, you can play. But remember, don't get serious about it. Divorce or marriage, these are alternative games. Being a worldly man or becoming a sannyasi, these are alternate games. But don't be serious about it. Be lighthearted, festive. And whatsoever you choose, you can play. And whatsoever consequences follow, you will welcome. Because there is nothing serious about it. Once this deepens in your consciousness, and this will deepen if you start playing with meditation, that will be the good beginning. Because in meditation, you alone are the player. That's why it can be the good beginning, a right beginning. You are alone playing the game. So you can forget the society. And the society will not come to interfere. This is a solo game. Meditation is solo game. You play alone. So whatever you want to play, you can play. But forget ends. If ends are there, then you have done meditation also a work. Just play it and enjoy it. Love it. It's beautiful in itself. There is no need for any other end to beautify it. People come to me. They say, we are enjoying meditation. But tell us, what is going to happen? What will be the end result? I tell them, this is the end result that you are enjoying. Enjoy it more. But they go on insisting, tell us something about what will be the end result, where we will reach. They are not concerned at all where they are. They are always concerned where they are reaching. The mind cannot exist in the present. So it goes on giving you excuses to move into the future. Those excuses are the desires. So if you desire to be a God, to be a Buddha, then your meditation will be a sort of desire. And then it is not meditation. If you don't desire anything, you just enjoy being here. You just celebrate being alive. You enjoy the inner energy playing in imagination, in visions, in emptiness, whatsoever you choose. And you are so totally one with the moment of this enjoyment. It is meditation. There is no desire. And with the desire, the world drops. With a non-desiring, playful mind, you have entered. You are already in it. But this has to be hammered on your mind again and again, because your mind is a transformer. It transforms anything into a desire. Anything. Even non-desire, it can transform into a desire. People come to me and they say, how to achieve this state of non-desire? How to achieve this state of non-desire? Now this has become the desire. Your mind has a transforming mechanism. Whatsoever you put in will come out and it will become a desire. Be alert of this. And enjoy moments so much that no energy is left to move in the future. Then any day, any moment, it will happen to you that suddenly all the darkness falls. Suddenly all that is burden disappears. Suddenly you are freed. But the emphasis should be more and more on play, present, here and now, and less on the future. Second question. Yesterday you said that mind is reality, dream is reality. Then why gurus like you take the trouble to teach us mind is the only barrier, mind is the only obstacle? Gurus and disciples, they are mind phenomena. Because your mind needs gurus, gurus are there. You create them. Because you want to be taught, teachers are there. You need them. This is a game. When I say marriage is a game, don't think that I will not say that guru and disciple is not a game. That's a game. Some people enjoy it, so they play it. If you enjoy it, play it deeply. If you don't enjoy it, forget it. But this is one of the most beautiful games. It goes even deeper than marriage. It is one of the most beautiful, most refined of games. So only when a culture reaches the peak, then this game develops. Never before. So really only in India the game developed. It came into being, the game of the guru and the disciple. Now the West is discovering it for the first time, because now West is reaching to a peak. This game is the most luxurious game. It is not ordinary. So only people who can afford, they play it. And if you know that this is a beautiful game and you enjoy, you can play it. But don't get serious about it. And disciples can be forgiven if they are serious. But when teachers are serious, this is absurd. They cannot be forgiven. Because even they are not aware that this is a game. In reality, all games disappear. But for the mind, games exist. And I'm not saying that stop playing. I'm saying only become aware that this is a play. Then go and play. If you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, then stop. Once you become aware that everything in life, every relationship, is a sort of game, you are already free. Because you are in bondage because of the seriousness. You are in bondage because you think everything is so serious. Nothing is so serious. But it is difficult to conceive whole life as a game. Why it is so difficult? Because the ego falls flat. If everything is a game, then the ego cannot stand. The ego needs food, Seriousness is the food. It feeds on it. So when you become a disciple, if you are just playing, your ego cannot get strong through it. Because you know this is a play. So what is there to be so much egoistic? Otherwise people start thinking that they are disciples of a very great guru. The guru may not be great, or maybe. That is not the point. But the disciple thinks, I am the disciple of the greatest guru. That becomes a vitamin. And the ego grows on it, becomes stronger. That's why disciples go on fighting about gurus. No one can believe that his guru is number 2. He is always number 1. Not because that he is number 1 or not. That's not the point. Because I can be number 1 only if my guru is number 1. My ego of the disciple depends on the height of the guru. So if someone says something against your guru, why you feel so hurt? Your ego is hurt. Your guru means your ego, embodied. Someone is saying something against your guru. You cannot tolerate it. It is impossible. Because it is a direct hit on your ego. But for disciples, it can be tolerated. They are ignorant. And whatsoever they will do wrongly. That is agreed. But so-called gurus, they are also very serious playing the game. They cannot laugh. It is impossible for them to laugh about the whole game. A guru is really a guru who knows that the whole thing is a game. And he is helping you in the game to make you more aware. And a moment will come when you will also laugh. A moment will come when you will be able to look back. And then you will feel very grateful. Because for you it was so serious, and for the guru it was never anything. But he was playing the game so seriously with you, making every effort, as if he is leading you somewhere. Remember, it is as if. Because there is nowhere to lead. You have to be here. So all the efforts which appear to be leading you somewhere are just devices. You cannot be led anywhere. You are already in the home. You have never left it. You are rooted in the reality, in the truth. So all this game of leading, guidance, gurudom is to bring you to such situations where you can become aware. And then you will laugh. Because you will find everything that you want to find already there. But you cannot understand non-seriousness. The ego doesn't know that language. Every religion is born as a play. And every religion becomes a church. Very serious, deadly serious. Every religion is born as a dance, as a song, as a festivity. And then everything goes dead and serious. Religion cannot be serious really. It must be ecstatic. It must be the highest peak of bliss. How it can be serious? Christians go on thinking and believing that Jesus never laughed. Look at the pictures of Jesus. Serious, pathologically serious. Look at Krishna. You cannot find a common ground between them. Not that Jesus was like that, but Christians have turned him. They have made him serious. Because only around a serious Jesus, a serious church is possible. And then the whole game of popes, so serious, so burdened. Jesus must have been a very light-hearted man, laughing, enjoying, eating, drinking, dancing. He must have loved life very deeply. And that was the sin. That was the cause why he was crucified. Those who crucified him were very serious. They were the old established church. Really, they didn't crucify Jesus, they crucified the festivity of him. And there would have been no Christianity if he was not crucified. Because he was a very joyous man. The moment Jews crucified him, the whole thing became very serious. Death became the point. And the figure on the cross, of course, is very serious, dead. And Christianity arose around the dead body, the cross. So cross became the symbol. Not Jesus laughing in a village, drinking in a party, eating with friends, or staying in a prostitute's home. No, they were not to become the symbols. Cross became the symbol. With cross seriousness, dead seriousness. And because of that cross and crucified Jesus, Christianity went against life. All that is alive is sin. But every religion goes on doing that in its own way. Those who are very sophisticated, they will not do in this way, they will do in another. We have not transformed Krishna. India is a very sophisticated land. It will not do such a thing. But we never take him in our heart. He is just a myth. Beautiful. Gita became more important than Bhagavad. Krishna's life is not so important for Hindus, but his message delivered on the war field is more important. Why? Because it is a serious thing on a war field. It is near death than life. His life is very much alive. But that has become a myth. Nobody bothers about it. His few words uttered on the war field have become more important than his whole life. And then there are pundits who go on explaining that his life is just symbolic, it is not real. His playing with the gopis is not real. Gopis are just symbols of senses. It is not real. They were not real women of bone and flesh, no. Gopis are not women. They are symbolic. And pundits are very efficient in doing such tricks. They say Krishna is the soul, and the gopis are the senses of the body. And the senses are dancing around the soul. This is a sophisticated country. They kill Krishna, they crucify Krishna, but in a very sophisticated way. Then his festivity is killed. Then it becomes symbolical, meaningless. Then his whole real life is pushed aside. He was dancing with real women. But that is shocking. Because we cannot conceive Krishna dancing with real women. We can allow him to dance with symbolic women, but not real. We will be shocked. Life shocks us. We have become so dead that anything alive shocks us. Every religion is born in festivity. And when the festivity dies, no, well, the religion is dead. Whenever a new religion is born, all old religions will be against it. Because again the festivity will be there. Just like a child is born, every child is born as a player. Festive, alive, celebrating. Irresponsibly celebrating. Not believing in future, living here and now. The whole society will be against him. The whole society will try to put him right before he goes astray. He must be put right on the track. The same happens with every new religion. So when I talk about meditation as a dance, I talk about sannyas as an inner celebration and happiness, as affirmation to life. Of course, all those who belong to old traditions will say, what is, you call this sannyas? And in a way they are right, because whatsoever they have been believing sannyas, it is not this. They have been believing in dead men. The more dead, they say, now this is real renunciation. Life has been renounced. Then they call this a sannyas. And I call sannyas when life is being lived in its totality. But this is how. Always it will be so. When I am no more, you will turn it into a serious thing.